Hello, town meeting members. I am Tom Jacob, the Finance Committee Liaison to the Community Preservation Committee, and I am here to speak to Article 32. This article was thoroughly explained by Mr. Zambone in his video presentation, so I will attempt to be brief. This is an annual warrant article as required by the Commonwealth's Community Preservation Act. As mentioned in the article information, the CPC must appropriate or reserve at least 10% of current estimated CPA revenues for three purposes: community housing, historic preservation, and open space. As you can see on the slide, we are estimating about $3.4 million in CPA tax surcharges and state matching funds. We will use $82,000 for administrative and operating expenses, which include wages of about $12,000 for staff support and $70,000 for expenses. The open space reserve amount is $382,391 and is approximately 11% of our estimated current CPA receipts and meets the state requirement of spending or reserving at least 10% for these purposes. We use 11% to ensure that we meet the 10% obligation in the rare case that receipts are higher than expected. As you will see in the next article, this 11% amount is not always enough. This year, the CPC is asking to double the 11% to 22% for the Community Housing Reserve Fund in the anticipation and hope that the Community Housing Authority or the Needham Affordable Housing Trust will be able to soon bring forward requests to the CPC for consideration. Just over $405,000 of this year's revenues will be used to pay the debt service on the loan for the town hall, and this amount fulfills the requirement to spend or reserve funds for historic preservation. As mentioned last year, the debt service on the Rosemary Recreation Complex peaked last year at just over $1 million, as this year's amount is about $616,000 and will continue to decline annually going forward. The remaining $1,225,714 of current receipts is allocated to the CPA General Reserve Fund. Should any of the CPC projects not be approved, the funds designated from receipts will become CPA free cash. The Finance Committee is supportive of this request and the CPC's initiative to plan for anticipated future projects by reserving funds for such purposes, particularly those for housing. As such, the Finance Committee agrees with the allocations and unanimously supports the approval of Article 32.